All right, Shalom. Before I start off, I'd like to first and foremost give all honor, glory, and praise to our Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakudash. Double honor to our apostles and elders, great and no soul, and taught us the truth. And peace and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, and no, this is going into um these measles outbreaks. All right, these cases which have been gaining a lot of momentum and coverage in the news as of recent, which is reminiscent of the whole get down, all right, during you know 2020, 2019, okay, with the whole pandemic, all right. And the news scared, the scope is on measles, all right. And the same way you were seeing the build up to the lockdowns and the various restrictions and measures that they came with the whole get down a little over 5 years ago, all right, or just about 5 years ago. All right, we're seeing the same, pretty much the same narrative being pushed, all right, with this whole measles thing. Okay, and as you see, all these cases are popping up. They're even talking about Europe, all right, and linking that to you know, those that are un VC'd, all right, un unpoked, all right, because we gotta speak in code, or they'll call this medical misinfo, all right. But we're pretty much seeing the same build up, all right, and the timing is impeccable, you know, dealing with everything that's been coming down under Trump's administration. And just recently, uh you know Donald Trump supposedly came with an executive order, all right, to withdraw the US from the World Health Organization, the WHO, all right. But what you had recently was the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, all right. They recently were partaking in a conference, all right, on those poke, all right, composition, all right. They coming with more of them VCs, okay, and they talking about a new one, as you see right here. Bay Area health officials urge measles. You see that as cases rise across the country, health departments from all Bay Area counties urge people to get VC'd, all right. And dealing with the executive order that came out of Trump, all right, to withdraw the US from the WHO, all right, which of course was just all a psych game on people, you know, and that contradicts the administration's motive to disengage from the WHO, all right. So you had the CDC participate in a WHO conference on more jabs, all right. Now, if you remember, during his first term, all right, under his first administration, Trump, he himself, he played a key role in promoting them VCs, all right, spearheading Operation Warp Speed, and signing it into action. Okay, and as a result, you had these VCs that were developed and produced at an accelerated, rate, accelerated pace. Okay, and then what happened when you had Biden come up in there? Under his administration, that's when the mandates came in full effect, right? The mandates were implemented to increase VC rates, right? 2021, back in 2021, Biden, he announced them requirements, right? The mandates that came down, which applied to businesses. You know, it required workers to get VC'd or undergo weekly testing. Okay, and remember during Biden's time in office, all authority was handed over to the World Health Organization in the event of what they would call a public health emergency. Okay, which grants them the ability to impose medical control over the population. All right, so it's about to happen again. Okay, and you're seeing the buildup. All right, and they recently just talked about another strain. Pretty much running with the same narrative. Oh, this came out of the whole CV came out of China. All right, and it was linked to bat consumption. Well, now they're talking about a new strain, and they're running with the same narrative. Oh, you know, it came from bat consumption. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on this because just as they were able to manipulate the public through fear mongering and bringing up all these things, all right, you had Ebola come recently get coverage again. All right, which you remember that back then, when that came out, people were afraid. Though they came with all the you know videos on the news platforms and the media. Then people, in the back of the cars and shit, slumping over, you know, and this whole BF bird flu. All right, so they've already begun discussing the need for a solution to control the outbreak. Remember, Bill Gates, he talked about another pandemic. What did he say? He said this one should really get their attention this time. Now, how is it they're able to predict, that these things would come and there'd have to be a response to it, you know, because they're the ones coming with it. All right. And this is just showing you, hold on. This very may well be this may very well blow into, another get down. 2019, 2020 on out. We may very well get ready to see them lockdowns and measures that they were coming with. Measles cases reached nearly 300 total in Texas and New Mexico. Measles outbreak holds higher risk for pregnant women, babies. For parents of babies near measles outbreaks, a painful waiting game. Do you need a measles booster? Let's ask an expert. Yeah, it's all bullshit. All right, and they coming with these things, and you remember when they came with the first batch of pokes, there were adverse effects to it, right? People were having all type of adverse effects, you know, health complications. A lot of people were having no, a majority of people actually that got it turned up with heart problems, you know. And there was a lot of shit. There was a lot of shit in them concoctions, you know. People that were dropping, they pinned sudden, they died suddenly. There was a whole documentary on that died suddenly, right? And people were turning up with fibrous clots in their arteries and shit, man. You know, people were fooled, people were deceived, because them devils would get on there, you know, on these news platforms. You even had certain politicians and shit get up there and freestyle. And remember, they had the blue backgrounds and shit, those certain colors, which I believe, you know, so there's something called color psychology. It's blue, gives the idea of peace and security. Now, every now and then they'd have some damn so-called health expert up there waving the hand and bullshitting, man, deceiving, and they coming with the same thing. So the agenda is clear, and we can anticipate the same strategies being repeated. This is Psalm 64:1. Hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer. Yahweh Shemel Shai, in my prayer, preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. And so we know our enemies, okay? They made it clear who they are, all right? And they have a agenda to forward their wickedness, man, all right? And you best believe if and when they come with another pandemic, all right? Because they've said, you know, that they were coming with these things, that this is all roads lead to the MOTB. That gives way for them to come with certain technologies to where they're, um, you know, tracing biometrics, all right, and various things, you know. Psalm 64:2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection and the workers of iniquities, all right. Now the WHO, the World Economic Forum, the CDC, you know, they all have these secret councils, all right, to conspire really against the Israelites, man. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Why were you at the forefront back when the whole demic, you know, happened? I remember seeing it was either Fox News or one of them news reports. It was like a crowd of people actually advocating for people to get poked up. All right, and when the camera had panned on the individual in the background, they were holding up a sign that said, vax, you blacks and Latinos first. See, who wet their tongue like a sword, verse 3, who had the tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, going into all their lies and propaganda and deception in the media. And the whet, basically, when you deal with a whetstone, it's used to sharpen a blade. All right, the whet means to sharpen. They sharpen their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Real quick, marah, bitter, of pain, chaff, discontented, great, heavy. Them bitter words, man. All right, telling people they gotta comply with certain restrictions and shit to so-called curb them infection rates. All right, and remember they came with the mask, the 6 foot social distancing. You know, you couldn't even get into certain venues if you didn't have it. Certain events, certain public spaces. People had to get scanned. The basal temperatures had to be checked. And go back. This is verse 4. Get out of here, actually. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Right, which goes into those secret councils, man. They target, the nation of Israel, all right, specifically, but namely the elect of the nation of Israel, all right. They don't, and you notice at them councils, they don't reserve seats for any of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, because behind the scenes, you're always the focal point. You're always, they're always in the background conspiring against you. Verse 5, they encourage themselves in the evil manner. In the evil matter, they commune of laying snares privately. Snares a trap. They say, who shall see them? Because they actually believe that people are gonna figure out their plans. All right, but it always comes out. All right, even as they the saying, there's a saying, if you want to hide something, you hide it in plain sight. Now, occasionally they'll do that. All right, revelation of the method, you know, and it flies over people's heads. But that's why the prophets of Yahweh Shemel Shai are set up to declare and expose them. Let me get this. It's 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, we were not ignorant of his devices. All right, and we're not ignorant of the agenda and these various initiatives that are in play and what it's all leading up to. All right, Satan. All right, which the physical counterpart of spiritual demon Satan is Esau, man, the Edomites. All right, and beginning with the top banking families of this man's nation, they want to get things rolling. They want to move. They want to move with their whole enterprise, their NWO, the Novus Ordo Seclorum, New Order of the Ages. All right, and what again, the timing is impeccable. Trump with all these tariffs on these other nations, how that will have uh, a clear, effect on the supply chain, on the U.S. supply chain and this economy. All right, there was a lot of money that was pumped into the pandemic response back then. So imagine what this would do. You know, Psalm 83 and 1, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh Bashem Shai, hold not thy peace and be not still, O power. Right, and the Lord, He's ultimately going to thwart their plans because they're being exposed for the devil they are. All right, scriptures say, you know, um, then shall that wicked be revealed, who the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is the prophets, man, the mouthpiece of the Heavenly Father. This devil is being exposed, which is why he's going to come down with great wrath, because he knows that he had but a short time. Pursuing Revelation 12 and 12. All right. And elsewhere, I believe 2 Ezra 16, they shall be like madman sparing none. They're going to come down on Israel, man, just as they did in the past. All right. And they do it cunningly. It's a buildup. It's a gradual thing through cunning deception and treachery, man. Again, they throw out that they bait people with the incentives. They tell them it's all good, you know. There's a scripture that said, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to throw thee in a pit. Roughly paraphrase. All right, and this is what he is. This is what he's known for. And our people forgot, you know. Our people forgot all the dirt, his track record. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. And they have a problem against the Most High. All right, and the Holy Scriptures, man. So they have to come to make war, all right, against his people and against his angels, man. All right, his messengers, right? But you have the prophets, as well as he's gonna actually attempt to fight the Lord in his armada, his heavenly host. They try to twist that war in heaven prophecy by throwing out them films. You know, um, I can name a few: Independence Day, um, War of the Worlds. You know what I'm saying? But see, Esau and his minions are going to be brought down very quickly. All right. Yahweh Shai said he saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. So it's going to be a quick takedown. Within 1 hour, this place is going to be finished. It's going to be leveled out. And you see the build up to pretty much the end game. All right. The Lord is moving the chess pieces, and he's about to check this devil out, man. They don't even know. They think everything is in their hands. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Like at these summit meetings and international negotiations, it's all crafty counsel. Is how to uproot the nation of Israel out of the earth, you know, to get that blessing back. They had taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones, those that are hidden from this truth, because they're going to fall for the deceptions that are out here, just as they did during the whole, get down, a little over 5 years ago, which being deceived, they were fooled into taking, they fell for them incentives, the bait, the deceptions that were being thrown out there in the media. But they were warned. Ecclesiasticus 38:15, he that sinneth before his maker, let him fall into the hand of the physician, right? Now the scriptures call Esau, they're all physicians of no value. See, because here it is, a physician is supposed to heal, all right? The occupation of a physician is to heal people through medicines, all right? But through pharmakias, right, which means witchcraft, right? Hey, the serpent. That's why he's called the serpent. Which Nakash in the Hebrew is a diviner, an enchanter. He that sinned before his maker, let him fall into the hands of the physician. And through that pharmakias, they were able to deceive people, man. People caught all type of health complications and adverse effects from the pokes. And here it is, they're talking about updating, coming with new batches. So it's all a thing of gradualism, right? But they're doing everything in their power to make it happen. See, a lot of people are going to be caught off guard, and the closers are going to, pretty much wrap everything up. Everything is going to go digital, and it's all going to be passed as a convenience. The CBDs are going to come, though they're talking about they ain't going to be a CBD. They're going to come with digital. They're going to come with the digital dollars, man. All right. De-dollarization is going to happen. These banks are going to fail. That's pretty much it on that. Let us continue to watch as well as pray, man. All right. So these things will catch us off guard, because they coming with something. Anyway, with that, giving all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bashem El Shai, Bashem Rekakwadash, the honors of our apostles and elders, great millstone, taught us the truth, and peace and blessings to the light to the next one. Shalom.